I'm at a loss for words. I am so lost for words. It's kind of funny because I'm doing this right now, and the time space that I have on my phone for minutes to record is saying 45. I'm actually interested to see what the number meaning for that is. Actually, I'm going to try to screenshot it. I don't know if that'll work or not. Oh, bad. Yep, it did. Okay. So that worked. So I'm going to check the meaning for that when I'm finished this. I did do another video, but it was a lot of yelling, and I was cranky and angry. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to not be cranky or angry. I'm going to try not to. My heart is so heavy for everybody right now. My heart is like, honestly, I don't think I've ever felt the feelings in my life that I'm feeling now. And I've never ever felt like I was never in such a position before in my life. It's heavy. It's so heavy. But the good thing is, because I still do know how to be happy. I know how to be in my happy place, which is fantastic, because that's super important right now. It's super important in times like this. But man, oh freaking man. Okay, for one, I know a lot of people don't like the stuff that I post and that I share or whatever, that I talk about. I know that people think that anybody that is like myself and in this mind frame, and that we think of this stuff, I know that people think that we're downright delusional. We're not. Okay, we're not downright delusional at all. I feel like I wish I could say I was, because the stuff that is in this world is downright delusional. Honestly, it is. And it's actually so heartbreaking to see society the way that it is right now. To see society in such a state that there has been so much division from the very beginning of 2020. 2020 is clear vision at the at the eye doctor. When you have 2020 vision, that means you see clearly. And 2020 was a very big eye-opener for myself. 2020, I remember being at work, and I remember the day was March 27th. I remember being told to not touch my face, not touch my eyes, and I remember that everybody was in hysteria. And I remember the TV was on, there was news on, I believe it was CNN. I can't quite remember, but it was of, they were talking about COVID, the coronavirus, and saying how people were dropping and dying everywhere. They were saying that birds are dying everywhere. There's just animals falling on the ground dying. From 2020 to now, I have yet to have ever seen any of that. And most of you know, I love the people that are close to me anyway, know that in the beginning of this thing, I did not even wear a mask. And then June, when they said that it had to be a thing, then I started to, because I have a job. But I was healthy that whole time, okay? I was super healthy. I was fine. I was good. I was great. I actually, in 2020, never in my life have I ever felt so great and had such a great year, and actually loved 2020. I loved 2020. But I think it was because I seen the happy side of it. Because when you're in a mind frame I can't say mind frame, but the way that I felt, okay? The way that I felt, I didn't see it as a pandemic at all. I didn't see it as scary. As a single mom of 4, that I worked like all the time. My oldest child is 26 years old. I've been doing this thing by myself for 26 years, working, being a mom, raising my children. I've worked very, very hard. And like, so when 2020 happened and we got time off of work, I was grateful for that time. And I think that being grateful for that time actually moved me. It did something to me, and it made me I don't even know what it made me, because I just don't know, because it was so much and it was so deep, and because I was so grateful to have that time home with my kids, to have that time that I could just do whatever I wanted. I didn't have to rush. I didn't have to do the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 or like the back-to-back Friday night, Saturday morning, working at a restaurant, being very, very busy and having just being very busy. This might be a little bit of a video. It might be a little bit long. I don't really know, but I'm going to get this stuff out because my goodness. My heart is fucking hurting for humanity so bad right now, and I don't know what other way to say things to people. Like, I've been sharing things. I'm like, I risk so much by sharing the stuff that I do. But I woke up last year to a world that is so fucking terrible. I did. I woke up and I seen the atrocities that are just going around all the time, everywhere. And I know that that's not anything what this world is supposed to be. I know that in my heart. I feel that shit deeply. And to see so many people running around so terrified and so scared of something that, COVID is real. I'm not knocking it. But when you look at the numbers, the actual numbers, like the statistics of the survival rate is really, really high. It's good. It's like 99 point something, 99.9, 99.7, 99 something. It's up there. I don't know, because I don't keep these silly, sick numbers in my head. Because these silly, sick numbers are they're pushing these numbers out to you to keep them in your head, to keep you scared. That's exactly what they're doing. And I know that. I see it all around. It's horrible. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's shameful. Now, here's my thing. When you're in a space of loving and happiness and stuff, you're not fearful. You don't fear. So, I was never scared of this. I was never anything. When I would go to Sobeys last year in the thick of it, like when it was like, oh my goodness, COVID is so bad, it's so scary, I would go to the grocery store and I would come home and I would be crying. Like literally bawling my eyes out, and my kids are like, Mom, what's wrong? Why are you crying? I was feeling everybody's emotions. I was feeling everybody's scaredness, their sadness. I felt all that low vibrational feelings, and it was coming at me. It came into me hard. So when I came home, I'd cry, and it drained me. So then I took a different approach. Meanwhile, everybody's in the grocery store wearing their masks for their protection. I wore headphones for my protection. That's what protected me. I came home, I was happy, I wasn't crying, I wasn't sick, I wasn't any of that stuff. I was fine, I was great, because I disconnected myself from all of the people that were around me in that grocery store, and I did my own thing, and I did it with music, because music is a place of happiness for me. Music is a place where I go, where I can find my happiness. So I did that, and then my kids seen a huge difference. Like, wow, mom's coming home with better groceries, because I wasn't trying to rush in and get at my stuff and get out of there, and I was coming home happy, and it was great. All because of headphones. Thank goodness, and thank God for music. The right kind of music, though, because some of the music that they actually play is made to actually mess up with your mind and mess up with your vibrations and keep you on a low vibration. When you're on a low vibration, when you're sick, when you're on a low vibration and you're feeling like scared, you're sad, you're down, you're this and you're that, like all these like really low, feeling guilty, feeling shameful, when you feel all of those feelings, you're so easy to get sick then. You get sick a lot easier, because I've said it before, when your body is in dis-ease, you get sick. It's called disease, right? Disease. So you get sick. But when you're happy and when you're feeling good and when you're like up in a high vibrational state and you're just like, you're loving, like I said one time before to a friend, I was like, I just love love. And he's like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You can't just love love. Well, yeah, you can. And I do. So, like, I see hearts in everything. I find hearts all the time. I, compliment people and like, treat people good. But I love myself because I'm proud of the stuff that I did. Like I said, I'm a single mom with 4 kids. I worked my ass off for 26 years. 26 years, and I did that, and I'm proud of that. So, yeah, I'm happy. Because things could be a lot worse, but I chose to always look on the bright side. For a long time I didn't, but then eventually, finally, I clicked in and realized, like, yeah, you just gotta be happy. Nobody's gonna make you happy except for yourself. But anyway, having said all this, last year we did fine. Last year we didn't see people drop dead on the ground like they said that they were gonna. We didn't see birds falling everywhere, dying everywhere, or anything like that. We did not use any vaccines or anything like that. We didn't use any of that stuff. I know that they say that the unvaccinated people are the people that are sick and dying. I can tell you that they are not, because I can tell you that I know people that have been being like, maskless, and they're just living life. They're living life, and they've been to rallies. They're still fine. They're still healthy. They're still alive. There's nothing wrong with any of them. None of them. The media doesn't tell you that, though, because the media is evil. The media just tells you stuff because it wants you scared. It wants you on that scared vibration so that you're in a low vibration, so that your body's in disease, so that you can get disease. And then they can sell you their pharmaceutical products. But when you're happy, and why aren't they saying eat fruit, eat vegetables, take your vitamins, do this, get out in the sun? Instead, they're telling you to stay out of the sun. You know what I mean? If it was all about your health, that stuff would be told, it would be said to humans, but it's not. Instead, they just want to give you this stuff that changes up your DNA. And I'm sorry, but 2020 was an amazing year. I never seen anything of anybody dying. Yeah, I did actually, but like not anything of what I'm seeing this year. Nothing like this year. Nothing. Last year I seen, I know that there were a lot of suicides. It had nothing to do with COVID. There were a lot of people that but most definitely passed away because their medical treatments were postponed because of COVID. Meanwhile, they say that the hospitals are overflowed with they're overflowed with patients of COVID, but yet, meanwhile, the nurses are in the hallways doing TikToks, dancing, and doing little dance routines, okay? I'm not knocking that, but didn't you see it then? Didn't you see it then when they were, like, in the hallway dancing? They took the time even to choreograph all that. Yeah. So last year, they knew that it wasn't actually as bad as what they say, right? So But they wanted to they tried to make you feel like it was, so they did whatever they did to do that. And then this year, I've just realized that fucking YouTube's probably gonna not even let me do this, but whatever, I'm gonna keep going. So last year they were fine there, they weren't overran. And then now they want to inoculate everybody with this thing, which is okay. Why? Because last year was fine. Nobody passed away from COVID. This year, people are passing away. What are they passing away from? And why is it that the nurses don't want to get something if they are working in hospitals, and quite possibly this year might be ran off their feet, because I haven't seen any TikTok videos yet this year from any nurses. I don't know if you have. If you did, please feel free to share them with me, because I'd like to see them, see if they still got the same good choreographic skills or whatever. But yeah, so you'd have to ask yourself, why are they making these nurses leave? But better yet, why are these nurses leaving? And the doctors. Like, do you not think that they don't see stuff going on at the hospital that we are not? They're not putting those videos up, though. Too bad, hey. It's a shame. It's a real big shame, because all that stuff is getting censored. So, anyway. So, now we're saying that everybody needs to be vaccinated, but we're going to come to the conclusion that we already found out that the vaccine does not stop the spread. So if the vaccine does not stop the spread, then we want to ask ourselves, okay, if the vaccine is not stopping the spread, then why is it that they're making us all implement a vaccine passport? Does that make you think of anything? Does that register with you? Does that make sense to you? Because that does not make sense to me, because if it's not stopping the transmission, then why are we using it? Why? That's a very good question. And nobody seems to have the answer for that. I'll tell you, it might be because of control, because eventually they're going to put on this little device that you're watching me on right now, and then they're always going to know where you're at. They're going to have access. They probably already do have access to all of our stuff anyway, and quite frankly, I think that's scary as fuck. So, if you stop and think about it, when it's got nothing to do with our health, because they're not telling us to do the proper things for our health, they want to inoculate us with this. Then they want to implement passes on this thing. I'm seeing people passing away all the time, and now they're trying to tell us that the cold weather is going to cause us to have blood clots and heart attacks. Oh, but wait a minute, though. Isn't the Amaronic, I don't even know how to pronounce that variant, the Moronic variant, I don't know the proper word that they're calling it, but I know the word that it actually means, the Moronic variant. I thought all of those symptoms were heart attacks and blood clots too. So why is it, which one is it? Because I'm a little bit confused. Is it the new variant that's causing it, or is it the cold weather in Canada that's causing it? Somebody please tell me. And also, I just think that the only way to stop this is if we just stop. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Stop wearing the filthy masks, because they're making us sick. I know for myself, having bronchitis and using a mask, I feel like shit all of the time. I'm not like that, but I just feel that whole, I'm very congested in there. I use a salt inhaler, but I suck because I procrastinate sometimes, so I don't always use it when I should, but it does make a big difference. But honestly, you want stuff to stop, you have to be the one to stop it. Because it went from 2 weeks to 2 years. It's going to go from 2 weeks to 2 years to 20 years. It's not going to be good. And I'm telling you right now that I'm not crazy. I'm not delusional. I understand what's going on, and I see what's going on. And I only pray that you do too. I pray that you can finally take the time to go and research this stuff and see for yourself exactly what's going on. Check out Agenda 21, or whatever it's called, Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030. These things aren't good things. You'll own nothing and be happy? Think about that. I know a lot of you guys are happy with the stuff that you own. You really think you're going to not own it and be happy? Anyway, just a thought. All this stuff got to stop. This vaccine passport stuff is very dangerous to society. This segregation has to stop somewhere. We need to realize that we'll do better if we stand together as one. Vaccinated and unvaccinated. We're all one, okay? I remember being a kid and saying as a child, I knew this when I was a child, but then I forgot. Because I used to say to all the kids, I grew up in a trailer park, and I used to say that in God's eyes we're brothers and sisters. We really are. And it's about time that we come to conclusion with that. I got nothing but love for everybody, and that's why I say and do the stuff that I do, because I see where humanity is going, and I see what the government's trying to do. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to help. I got family. Anyway, much love, everyone.